Blouse and skirt, a planning and project management tip for life. My name is Heather Pinnock. I was awarded a Chevening Scholarship in 1998. I attended the University College London, where I completed a master's in development and planning with a focus on building and urban design in development. 23 years on, after a career that has spanned many sectors, I am now the head of the Urban Development Corporation, the largest real estate management and development agency in the government of Jamaica, with responsibility for a huge asset portfolio valued at over $500 million US and a multifaceted team of over 1,000 staff. My Chevening Scholarship and study time in London have laid the foundation for my career and indeed for my life. I have always felt that planning was a part of my very nature, and then it became my profession. The same can be said for project management, which is a field that I did not know back in the last century when I went to do my master's, but which has become quite common now. It is, I think, the building on what we first considered planning and in executing any kind of project and undertaking. I have been working in project management for over 21 years. I got my official project management certification some 17 years ago, and I have been applying the principles of project management in work and in life with great success for all these years. One of the key principles of project management that I have always held dear is the established principle of the triple constraint. The triple constraint essentially contends that any project is constrained by three things: the budget, the schedule, and the output standards. As a project manager, I can trade between any of these constraints. I can address change and concerns on any project by looking back at these three key standards. This was my baseline view of all projects until my Barrett Sawyer moment. This was my baseline view of all my projects until my Barrett Sawyer moment. Before I give my big life-changing tip, let me explain what I mean by Barrett Sawyer. My husband is Filipino, and when we were planning our wedding, we made every effort to combine both our cultures in the event. Of course, I love this because it involved quite a bit of planning and project management that goes into any wedding, and I was very excited. My favorite find of this process was Barrett Sawyer. Barrett Sawyer is a traditional Filipino outfit which is named for the Tagalog equivalent of blouse and skirt. In Jamaica, blouse and skirt is an expression of surprise at a revelation, an aha moment of sorts. Barrett Sawyer quickly became our go-to expression in my family. It became the words we use anytime we had an excitement or some form of revelation. It was always Barrett Sawyer. Barrett Sawyer is also part of my review of how I do project management. After many years in my professional career, I decided to check out an Agile project management course. I didn't know what else I could learn. As I said, I had been certified many years ago. I've been working for over 20 years. But I thought maybe I could learn something new. And I really did. At this course, I learned about Scrum project management, Agile project management. And the key change for me is that I was very accustomed, being in construction and development, to looking at the waterfall system of managing projects, which is each activity follows the other. So one after the other, after the other. And at the end, you get a big final outcome. Like a project where we plan, enter into a contract, execute, do our construction. At the end, we have our building that we can open. In my view, that was very clear, and I wasn't sure how Agile would apply to my industry because it was really developed initially for the tech industry. But Agile changed my view. Agile project management made me realize that it is possible to look at time as the most important element in doing a project and how quickly one could deliver value to the customer or stakeholder. and how important it was to keep the customer and stakeholder engaged by letting them know what you're doing along the process, by letting them add to, review, and improve the outcomes, and therefore getting continuous improvement in delivering value. The baseline of understanding Agile project management is that time is such a critical part in making any decision, both in projects, in work, and in life. I will never forget the Saturday morning that I got a call that my mother had collapsed. She had gone to New York on vacation and to search for a Barrett Sawyer for me. The ambulance arrived within minutes, and after CPR, she was transported to the nearest hospital. My entire family sprang into action to get to her side. By boat, by plane, by car, we got there to her. Sadly, my mother died that Monday morning, the very day she had planned to go out and buy my wedding dress, a Barrett Sawyer. I am now convinced that time is the most precious and valuable thing we have. When it came time to go to my mother, it did not matter the cost for any treatment. There was no cost we were unwilling to pay. There was no option we were unwilling to try. Why? Because we were willing to do anything to get more time, just a few more minutes, because we recognized that every moment mattered with her. And this made me realize the importance of time, not only in life, but in projects, in work, and in everything we do. Why? Because time is a thing that we cannot recover. I'm not suggesting that cost and quality are not important. However, the clarity of prioritizing time allows us to make decisions that put everything in perspective. It really helps in everything I have done since and everything that I will do. I am clear. My Barrett Sawyer moment was clear that time is the most important thing in making decisions in life. Time is not only important for our work and our lives. Time is also critical when we think about our global issues. As the Caribbean and small island developing states established back at COP21 in 2015, our lives and livelihoods are at stake from the effects of climate change. And as such, our message and our timeliness in response are critical. Our simple message is 1.5 to stay alive. At 1.5 degrees, we do have a chance. Beyond that, we may not. And as we prepare for the upcoming COP26 later this year, time is such an important aspect of how we need to approach these decisions. So in closing, I simply say to you, never forget how important it is, even with the triple constraint of time, cost, and quality. The most important tip I can give you as a lifelong planner and project manager is to always prioritize time. Always prioritize time. And in that, consider what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life. I thank you.